Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. It's been a long while and yes, there's a lot of updates. This video is about my pregnancy number 3. If you haven't seen the pregnancy number 1 or my birth story number 1 and number 2, please go and check in the playlist, birthing playlist. And well, that's it. God has blessed us with another child. So I tried my best to put together some clips here and there on how the journey went. So I most likely will just be posting here and there after this video, like after you see this video. So please do well to just engage and enjoy and be encouraged and learn or suggest depending on what God would have these videos do for all of us. So this is our baby number 3, and as we all say, every birth, every pregnancy is usually different. Well, conception, we thank God. Pregnancy. So now this, in fact, one of the first things I would like to say here is that this particular pregnancy is the one I carried while working. So my first and second children, I was not working a full-time job like a 9 to 5. I was just doing my own thing, YouTube here, creating my products there, teaching my child there, and we're just doing, also training. Did I even train? I was just doing 1 or 2 things, but no 9 to 5 job. This particular child came while I was working. Yes, he was planned for, and it's a he. And by the time I discovered I was pregnant, I actually filmed something like that, a video that will show how, me checking, all of this paparazzi, but unfortunately, that video went with the phone. And that's a long story, but I don't have that video, so I'll just try to gather what I have and post. So I was working, like I said earlier, and it was a totally different experience. My pregnancy usually comes in the first 3 months, or the second and third month mostly, with the morning sickness, which is usually not morning sickness, but it was tougher this time around because I didn't get to sleep throughout the day. My first especially, I could sleep throughout. In fact, I slept throughout the day. I don't know if I mentioned it in that particular video, but I slept throughout the day until my husband comes from work. He will come back and still cook. God bless him. Don't worry, you'll still be seeing a video of me interviewing him to share with us how giving birth, the impact of pre, during, and postnatal on men, because we don't really talk about that a lot. But back to us. So I could have that luxury for my first because there was nothing else to do, nothing else to take care of. Second child, I was taking care of my first, but I was not working actively. But this time around, I had 2 toddlers and a full-time job. I was teaching. I know teaching these days is not beans. So it was a whole different experience. Fortunately or unfortunately, I got transferred at that same period to a new department, a department that I had always wanted to become a Montessori teacher in an actual Montessori classroom. And that was when I discovered I was pregnant. So it was like I became useless. And that's the word. I felt very useless. I just I felt like I was just existing. The only thing that made me wake up very, very early in the morning was the fact that I had a job to show up in. If not for that, I wouldn't even want to open my eyes. I just wanted to close my eyes and hibernate for all that period. I felt very terrible. Thank God for friends around. I'm thankful for my husband who, was very helpful. And God sent help at the exact time to help around, those other cleaning and in the house. So I was just grateful to have that support at that exact time. Now, fast forward down to my... I think that's just how I coped. Woke up very early in the morning, did what I could, move, prepare the house for work, be at work. And thank God I must mention I also had very supportive teachers. So I immediately had to mention it to my new head of department, my principal, and my class teacher. Like, they were all very supportive. they wouldn't give me so much work to do. You know, you have to take children out for rehearsals and all of that. It's just a different whole experience, but I was not given so much to do. When I want to bend too much, like, I hope you're going to take this chair, don't use that chair, you know, just, I was pampered. I was pampered. I would say that I was pampered compared to the work that was waiting for me normally. And that happened. So moving on. I think the pregnancy was just pretty, that there was nothing specific except that God carried me through, and God gave me an unusual strength, especially when I snapped out of that first trimester. I was just good. There was no issues, honestly, and I'm grateful to God for that. Now fast forward to during labor. 40 weeks. Okay. Yeah, before then, when it was time to check the gender of the baby, you'll be seeing that particular, how we found out the gender and our reaction to that. To say that, I have to put this here, that honestly, if God had given us a girl, we would have, I don't know how else to put it, we would have been over the moon, because if you don't have a girl child, you would know what I'm talking about. Or if you do have a girl child, you also know, like, girls are exceptional when it comes to children. And children are children, whether boy or girl. So I am privileged to have girls. And then God blessing us with a boy is privilege. Like, we are privileged to have a boy this time around. And I just see it as God just saying, okay, let me trust you with this one too, so that, you know, it's just a privilege. That's the word I can use. Yeah, to have another gender, so we could just, you know, see how it runs for both. Aside that, no hassle. If they were all girls, honestly, they are perfect. And trust me, my girls are boys and girls all together. When they want to be girly, they will be girly. When they want to be they are everywhere. Those that know my children know. So back to the story. Fast forward now, after we found out to when it was time to give birth, my boy just relaxed in the womb. He didn't want to come out. He was just enjoying his life. For 40 weeks, 41 weeks. So my gynae, in fact, there was this day the labor progressed, and my gynae we went to the hospital thinking labor had come. By the time I slept in the evening, like in the night, the labor disappeared. There was nothing again, so we had to go back home. That day I was not happy, but we moved. Now fast forward back to when the baby actually came. He came because he was induced. So fast forward to a few days after that day. So we got to the hospital on Tuesday, came back that Tuesday when the baby, we got to the hospital, yes, Tuesday. We came back Wednesday morning when the baby decided to still chill a little. And then the gynae asked us to come back on Saturday, that's Friday night. And if the labor does not start through that night, then Saturday will be induced. So we were basically induced exactly at 41 weeks, almost entering into the 42nd week. And that was when the drama started. If I have a video clip, I'll be able to put it. But labor was fast. I was given the pill around 7:30 in the morning, 7:15 in the morning. By 10:30, baby was out. And he came out complete. He came out full with his sac, with his membrane intact. The doctors, in fact, so the doctor that had been checking me wanted, and my gynae actually wanted a gynecologist to be there because he was not available. So he wanted a gynecologist to be like at the birth. And that day was a day where they do consultation, so he was going to be available. The doctor had been monitoring, checking. By the time I was 9 centimeters, I wanted to rupture my membrane, then go and call the gynae to come. He could not even rupture the membrane because baby was already coming. They thought I was pushing when I was not supposed to, but I couldn't help it. Like, I was just shouting, I cannot help it. And baby just came out like, that was very quick. It was very quick, and it was painful. Labor is painful. Now, I need to mention that my friend, I have a pregnancy twin that we basically took in at the same time, because our last day of menstrual period, that's how they calculate pregnancy, like how far you're gone. They just ask you what is your last day of menstruation, and our days were just, she was 7th, I was 8th, so we just basically are pregnancy twins. Basically, her own child came 3 days before mine, and she had an ACS due to some reasons that the hospital actually pointed out. And so she watching me, because I was on a video call with her when my labor was progressing really fast. She made a statement that rang, said none is easy, and that's the truth. Whether CS, whether a vaginal birth, both of them are difficult. There is no you're a lazy person. People used to say, oh Lenny, you're lazy, that's why you did CS. There's nothing like that. I saw her face, I saw how she felt, because I was also on a video call with her just after she woke up after the CS, and it was painful. Standing up alone, painful. That is for CS. The recovery up to now, she's still nursing the stitches, and this is a month plus after, right? Yeah, a month actually, because today is 17. Baby was 16. So do you understand? It's still painful. Labor too on his own is another different thing. So nobody should undermine anyone. The fact that someone is bringing a child to life is a different ballgame altogether, and all should be appreciated. The most important thing is the mother is safe, the child is safe, the husband is safe, because that one too is very important. And that, so baby came full whole with his membrane. They had to rupture the membrane, they carried the baby and all of that. I was just like, thank God, this child is out. Fast forward to, so that's actually basically the birth story. You know, I always say that my third delivery is the case where my baby's crying. Okay, let me round up. So it's a case, you know, in the Bible that said before then the Hebrew women had actually put to bed even before the midwives got them, and that was mine. So by the time they were looking like, okay, this, you are pushing, madam, you are pushing, the nurse was saying you are pushing, I said, I can't help it, the baby was already coming out. And that didn't last, I don't think it lasted 10 seconds, because everybody was now people who were downstairs for antenatal, some of my friends that I knew that were downstairs for antenatal, they said they saw the nurses running and calling each other, and then the gynecologist that was seeing someone specifically had to just quickly round up with that person to run upstairs. That's the person that was supposed to handle the delivery. By the time I saw the gynae enter my room, I was already relaxing. Like, that was like 3 minutes after. Relaxing meaning at least all those contractions had died down, and they had taken the baby to clean him up. So it was my placenta that he just came and assisted to help detach and bring out. That was that. And that was how God just did it. It was the fastest, really. My experience after that was this. Okay, so I later discovered that, the doctor told me it was the oxytocin, because I was given a drip. I'll see if I can put a clip, whether in my right hand or in my left. Let's in my right hand, they can put the drips. Yeah. So, and he said there's oxytocin in the drip. That's why I was feeling contraction, because I was still feeling contractions back and forth, and it was painful. So I'm like, I thought we were done with labor. Basically, I was still feeling labor pain back and forth, and that was just the beginning. So after that drip finished, he explained that the drip was so that the uterus can start contracting back, and that's why I'm feeling that. So that's that. After that, I started feeling uneasy, like terribly uneasy. You know, when you're feeling restless from head to toe, from the inside to the outside. I couldn't just explain. And I was breathing. You know, I wanted to lie down, I wanted to stand, I wanted to sit, so I started pacing. In fact, I was jumping at some point. I just wanted to find a position that I was going to be comfortable in and okay in. But I couldn't. I was so restless. And I was feeling pain from inside. Then whenever I put the child to suckle, to at least to start to suck, so that he will cough out the milk, I would feel that contraction and it was painful, like I had labor all over again. So that was another experience I'm not sure I really experienced with my first and second. It was different. Ooh, it was quite different. And they said, I think, so I didn't want to raise alarm, but hours later, I had to, like in the evening, night itself, I had to now speak with one of the nurses that came to check that, please, so this is how I'm feeling. So she called the doctor in, and then the doctor said, it was normal, very normal, that my body is still balancing. I just assumed that all my internal organs are now falling back into place, because come on, what is this gross discomfort? But I think that passed, as that the next day I was better, and I was discharged the very next day. So I only spent 2 nights, the night before I was induced and the next night, and I was discharged because there was no complications. Glory to God. So I'm just grateful to God for that. Everything went smoothly, and this is my birth experience. Really, there was nothing dramatic aside this. I'm grateful to God for that, and I pray that anyone who is trusting God for even something better than this will receive grace for it in the name of Jesus. If there's any other thing extra, you'll be seeing it in my here and there videos. But thank you for watching and staying to the end. My people are back from church. Take care and see you in my next video. Bye. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, because on this channel I do parenting content. Yes, that would definitely be helpful to you. Thank you so much.